I was just setting up for the live stream here. What's going on, everybody? So, dude, we're here at the local airport, my favorite place to be, of course. And I'm debating on going back and going to get my gear to go fly, but the ground is so like wet. And it was just misting like basically 15 minutes ago. It was a pretty hard mist, and we all know that with these gliders, we don't really want to be getting them wet, right? That's not what we ever want. Dry conditions are always the best conditions, but it bothers me that I came out here. It's like I'm watching the winds actually get lighter and lighter since I've been sitting here, and I've been here for about, I don't know, about 25 minutes or so now, but it's been misting, here and there. And I keep wondering, like, man, is it worth actually going and taking off? And I was just looking at my phone. Here's my other one. So I do have two phones, but I was just trying to debate this because, like, I want to go flying. And sunset is still not for another hour and 40 minutes. It's 3:02 Eastern time here in New Jersey. So I'm debating. Yuvraj, what's up, dude? It has been a long time, man. I hope all is well, dude. Happy to have you on the live stream, man. Um, yeah, I'm debating on whether we go up and fly. Like right now, everything's soaking wet on the ground. The outside of my truck is wet from the mist that was just happening. It was raining all morning, but the winds are dying down to basically nothing. And like, I really would love to go and fly. But to do that, I have to have more than just the glider. I don't have the paramotor in the back. And a lot of times with days like this, I still like to come to the airport because this is where I come and just get to do all my book stuff and write down the business stuff and think about creative ideas for the next day or my next time flying. But I've had so much going on, like I've been saying in some of my videos, some of my live streams and stuff, but yeah, dude, it is dark outside. And don't get it wrong, these are tinted windows. But you can still see it's very cloudy out. And I would love to go and fly. It's like not that cold out. It's 42 degrees right now. So it's really not that cold. The coldest temperatures I've ever flown in were in the teens. And I'm pretty sure it was like 12 degrees off the beach with like a 15-mile-an-hour headwind. You want to talk about cold? That was freezing. But right now, this is like nothing, with temperature and with how the winds are dropping right now. But what I've been watching from the windsock, right, which I love about here, is that we have obviously all these different wind indicators. And normally what I love about this place is that because there's multiple ones, you get to really see how the wind really is happening inside this triangle. But don't get it wrong, sometimes I can play tricks on you too. How is the temps here right now? So the temperature right now is 42 degrees, it says on the truck. So that's not too bad at all. That's, the other day I went flying in 33 degree weather, and it like felt like half that. It felt cold the other day on the beach. But I would really like to go flying, but I'm debating because, oh, in Celsius. That's a good question. Let's see, Raj. I'll look that up really quick here. Let's see. Let's get to the internet. So, 42 degrees to Celsius. So, 5.5 Celsius. 5.5 Celsius. So what we're going to do is, what I'm thinking is we're going to start heading back to my shop. It's 10 at my place. Okay, so 10 Celsius. Let's see what 10 Celsius is. So let's see. 10 Celsius, 2 degrees. So it's like, so that means like that would be like 50 degrees. So we're not like too far off. Like I said, it's 42 degrees right now here. Yeah, it says 42 degrees. I just had to start my truck up to actually see the temps. So let's, I guess, cruise back to the shop. And I would like to think that if it doesn't maybe mist again, I might try to come back here and actually fly, which would be pretty epic. You know, I would love to go fly, but like I said, the ground's all soaking wet. I don't know how practical it would be. And dude, there's nothing worse than when the glider actually gets a little wet, because once the glider gets a little bit wet, they get heavier. And when the glider gets heavier, don't get it wrong, you can still fly the glider, but it's not the safest. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Yuvraj. So I do have a new look with the mustache, the different haircut. My hair's a little messed up right now, but you know, I'm trying to just change. You know, I love that in my life I've changed so many times, especially in the past like 2 years, right? 2 years, man. So much stuff has changed. Okay, let's look around. When I'm here at the airport, we have to really be cautious, right? Because I don't have a radio. I see some pilots coming out. I don't know what anyone's doing, but let's go. We're gonna get right onto the airstrip. There's nobody on here. I'll show you guys the strip. Might be a little blurry because of how close I have you guys. Can you guys see the airstrip? So we don't see any planes. This would definitely be the way that any of the pilots would be probably coming, because it's probably hard to tell, but right up there is the windsock. You guys see the windsock right there to the right? You can see that we're driving into the headwind right now. But dude, that windsock has been kind of like circling, or yeah, it's been spinning all around like in a 360 setup. But that's also could be because of how the wind cycles inside this triangle shaped airfield. And so that's why it's so nice that there's multiple wind indicators here, because you can really find how the wind really is acting for inland. Like for me, like you guys all know that do watch my videos, you'll know that I fly a lot at the beach. And that's pretty self-explanatory when we're there, because gotta make sure we're crossing another strip here. Because when I'm doing things at the beach, normally the winds are coming directly off the ocean, or they're parallel with the island that I'm flying on. And when that stuff's happening, it's like beach flying is so much fun. And a lot of times the winds are a bit on the higher side when you're at the beach, so you clearly know how to find the wind. So, you know, but when you come in inland and we're trying to find the wind, especially when you come in on land and stuff like that, you come in on a bit of a crosswind or downwind on a landing, especially inland, it's probably not going to be a good landing. Don't get it wrong, I have personally landed in downwind and a crosswind, but like running so fast to the point where my ankles were killing me. Now, which glider do you currently are using or having? So right now, Yuvraj, we got right here in the back is the Spider 3. So I jumped up a very, very little bit. So like originally in all my videos, you guys see me flying the Roadster 3, 22 meter, right? So I had an opportunity to get Pilot Pat's Spider 3, right? Which is actually a 24 meter. So it's a little bit bigger. And to be honest, you know, I'm not in this to be doing speed bar as well. Yes, it has the speed bar, full set of range for trims. And also, like, it's the big brother wing to the Roadster. The Spider is essentially like a lighter version of the Roadster, and that's kind of the reason why I wanted the Roadster in the beginning, because like for me, still learning a lot of things. And you know, with my original glider, I've actually ripped it, I've done stuff like that. So like when it came to buying a brand new glider for the first time for me, I really wanted something that was stronger like the Roadster. At least that's what I read in all the reviews and from other pilots. So now that is the Spider 3, 24 meter. It is a little bit bigger than the Roadster, but man, it's like just as spicy or spicier, and it is the 24 meter. I still need to tie in my 2D steering, which is what I wanted to basically do today, but you know, the ground is so wet that I really do hate getting the glider wet. But maybe if I could set up like on a certain part of the grass, the glider wouldn't really get wet, but I don't know. I would love to go flying. So we'll see. But like I said, I'm driving home now back to my shop where the Paramotors are. I didn't even bring the Paramotor because, and the only reason why the glider is actually in the back is because I cleaned it out yesterday. I had sand in it. You know, every time I go to the beach, no matter what I do, there's always a little bit of sand that collects in the glider. So I like to always take it inland and clean the glider out properly. You know, sand in the gliders is like sandpaper in the gliders. You know, it's not good for it to live in there and be just always moving around in that material. But I left it in there from yesterday. So that's why the glider's still in here. And I wanted to come sneak out to the airport because this is my favorite place to hang out at. There's nothing like getting to go to an airport and just shutting off life for a little bit and just focusing on what I really want. And you know, I've been doing so much stuff now, and now like, dude, I have so much going on, like starting up a whole nother business with you know, NBE PBG. That is freaking awesome that now that that's an official business, which I'm so proud of. And that's something that like that I never thought I was going to have to really push, but now I did because of all the stuff we do on social media. We're going to most likely be getting Starlink to add to the channel, so these live streams will be better and more clear throughout the whole live because I'm always on the move. You know, there's never a moment in my life that I get to just really sit somewhere for a good period of time. Like, to do a live stream, let's say in my garage, the only way that I feel like I can do that is if I'm doing a project in there. And a lot of times, like, I'd rather just sometimes make a video up over that, and then it's just so crazy with the stuff that's going on. But regardless of that, we are also an East Coast dealer for SkyMax, so we are selling SkyMax Paramotors. We are also selling t-shirts. I'm trying to get hats and cool like stickers, keychains, and stuff like that I can start just giving away to everybody. Also, well, there goes my chase cam. Also, you know, I have my construction business. You know, a lot of you guys don't realize that, like, I don't just do videos for YouTube or Facebook and stuff. I actually have a carpentry business that I had to just redo. You know, a lot of stuff's been going on with that, and it's been very hard. You know, none of it's easy. And, you know, it's crazy just all the stuff that I have piled on. And if you guys can believe it, I'm adding another part of workload to my life too, just to change up my lifestyle a little bit, just to do more things, just to see what I like in life. Because, you know, with like in life that we all live, bills are always going to be there, and we're always going to be forced to have some type of a job, right? Nobody gets to be here for free, especially if you want to have things in life. You know, you can go be a bum and go live on the streets and have nothing, right? And that's not what I want. I want to have things, and the things that I want are very expensive. So it's like I have to always constantly be working, and I do enjoy work. You know, we all got to do something. So to me, I do like carpentry. I love being on social media. I love making money from Facebook and YouTube, a little bit of money from Instagram, some money from TikTok. But yeah, you know, it's fun, but that doesn't all just pay for the bills, you know. So that's where my carb lifestyle is still here. And then also with this night armed security that I'm getting into. Yeah, Raj. So if I think I just accidentally turned my traction control on the truck. I just felt my truck do something different. Yep, I accidentally turned on traction control. So will I be doing a live stream if I go back and fly? Yeah, there's no problem with that. I have to go home, probably do a few things first, and then I'll probably just start the live stream back up again once I'm maybe pulling out of the yard. But I'll keep the live on though until we get back to the shop. And you know, it's crazy. It's not even considered the shop anymore. It's actually considered a storefront. So we officially made my garage, that where I've always done all my videos and store all my paramotors and even the hot rod. Now that's the official store for MBE PBG and for where I make my sales right out of there for SkyMax. And I would like to stock up on e-props. I would like to stock up on helmets, and I would like to maybe stock up on one wheels and maybe some electric scooters. But before I get really crazy with all of that stuff, I would really like to just be settled in for what I've just done with creating the store, selling obviously SkyMax Paramotors, which I have been doing for some time. More or less, we sell a ton of parts all the time, but selling like paramotors now, it's really incredible. And what I'm also trying to be doing is I'm trying to get some Vitarazi motors, a couple like Atom 80s, a couple factory R's, a couple standard Moster 185 plus, and then because really, like, I know a lot of friends of mine that do videos and do other things. They like sell E-prop and they sell Helix, or they sell Falcon is the other one, and and I'm never here to step on anybody's toes. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to be me. I'm here to sell paramotors, SkyMax paramotors. I'm here to work on Vitarazi motors as well, which is awesome. So if you ever have any problems with your Vitarazi motor and you're closer to the East Coast side and you don't feel like sending your motor out far, you can always call me up. I do fair assessments and I do a fair hourly work on those motors. And I have every tool possible for them. There's nothing that I can't do to the Vitarazi engines, from simple, clean rebuild kits to full teardowns and rebuilds. So, and if you're having any issues and you can't have your motor running, I know how to make these motors run like a really clean song. So if you have any issues, you can always call me, and I wouldn't mind to do a video chat to help you out to even see if we can't figure out what we can do. I totally just stopped at a green light and the car behind me was pissed. But yeah, so like right now it's actually starting to mist a little bit. Like, this is what I was talking about and why I didn't even bring my paramotor to begin with. It's like don't get it wrong, I've flown in times where I've been caught in the rain, I've been caught in mist, I've been actually caught in dense fog that was not on the charts or on any of my weather apps, and man, we're not allowed to fly in fog unless you can see past a mile. Actually, I am tired. How much time will it take you to reach? How much time will it take you to reach your actual? So to reach my place, we're talking about probably another 5-10 more minutes, Yuvraj. So Yuvraj, man, how have you been? Everything's been good? Are you still going to school? But regardless, dude, I've been caught in dense fog so bad that it was scary. And I was up kind of high to the point where I couldn't tell if I was over the ocean anymore or if I was like getting close to buildings. It was the scariest thing that ever happened. I was high enough to know I was over buildings, but we have towers and stuff on the beach islands and stuff like that. And what I've learned from my personal, yes, amazing. Okay, good. And from my personal flying adventures, like, I've learned on the beaches, especially in the summertime, that fog can just roll in unexpectedly so thick and so fast that, like, it's really, it can be a really scary moment. And people are always like, oh, what's it like flying through clouds and this and that? And to be honest, you're not allowed to do that. Ultralight pilots aren't supposed to be doing things like that because We're always supposed to be able to see a full 360 view and never be hiding in the sky either. And if we go hiding in the clouds and stuff like that, you can get whaled by another airplane, and that's not good. So, but regardless of that, like when I've been caught in those dense fog, by coming in to try to land for emergencies, you know, and I'll never forget those moments, because it has made me realize how important it is to really watch out, because it could go from having the greatest time of your life, which it always is every time I fly, to being really scared, not knowing if you're even going down anymore. Like, I don't know if any one of you have ever felt that before, but it's a very scary feeling where you don't know what's going to happen next. And, you know, from my experience of flying, you know, I've seen some of the worst, I've seen the greatest, you know, and I've learned how important it really is to watch what you're doing, watch out for other pilots. You know, every time, like, I know flying with other pilots is like the hands down greatest experience ever, but it can also be very dangerous when you're not paying attention for just 1 second. And even if you are paying attention and you're trying to do something with the pilot, like wingtip touches, flyovers, which is never a good idea. Even wingtip touches isn't really the greatest, you know, because all it takes is one little problem and you can collide into another pilot, and you got a prop on your back that's spinning. You know, you can chop somebody up, you can hit another glider, you can take another pilot down. And I've experienced a lot of that. I've seen a lot of that. And I've seen, like, even having some of the greatest times with other pilots and watching some of the greatest pilots that I could, like, wish that I could be like, make crazy mistakes. And that just shows to go that all it takes is just forgetting for 1 second, that how crazy a situation can escalate. And I've seen it, and I'm so grateful that I've never been hurt. And I've been in a lot of accidents with flying, and most of them all to myself, like motor outs, collapses, which made me go to the ground, just trying to do like simple motor out landings, you know, messing them up, landing in downwind by accident when I thought that I was in a headwind. Like, it's just, a lot can happen. And all I'm trying to get at with this is that paramotoring is the greatest thing in the world, but it also can be very dangerous without the proper training that everybody should have first. And, you know, like those times where I got caught in the dense fog, or have gone through potentially little clouds that you could see still, it is kind of scary. Definitely very scary when you can't see the ground in dense fog. But what I was trying to get at actually with the dense fog, that's what it just reminded me, is that time when I got caught in that dense fog and I was coming in to try to land, I must have only been in that fog for maybe, it felt like to me forever, but really it must have been probably no more than 5 to like 6 minutes, right? And by the time I got on the ground, the glider was completely soaked. Like, and I have never in my life had a glider completely soaked while flying. And I would love to hear from some of you if any of you have ever had your glider get completely wet. And I mean, not just the glider soaked, my lines were soaked, my risers were soaked, I was soaked, and I didn't even realize that I was even soaking wet either, because of how freaked out I was of the situation. You know, I've never been that worried ever about flying, you know. What was that, Yuvraj? I'm sorry. So now, yeah, good. So now, Yuvraj, I fly the Pulsar, which is SkyMax paramotor frame, and it's their newest one. It's a very lightweight, more designed for the all-pro pilot, and also Very unique. It's such a different game changer to all the other paramotors that are out there, and even to the SkyMax Star. But don't get it wrong, the SkyMax Star is still, like, to me, the ultimate paramotor because it's for the beginner, intermediate, and even the all-pro pilot. But the Pulsar just brings this whole different level of, like, advanced craftsmanship to the aircraft. Like, way lighter, way easier for takeoffs and landings because there's so much more room. And God, it's beautiful, actually, the difference of it. And I would love to talk more about that, but I have made some videos, Raj, that you have to check out on YouTube here on my full videos of those, of me, like, first flying the Pulsar and stuff. I have all that up and posted. So, and yeah, so all I was just trying to get at is, like, if I was to go take the glider out right now, I have a chance of getting it soaking wet, and I almost feel like it's probably not worth it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Some of you might say that it's worth going out still in something like this, but so jet fuel, I've done jet fuel, like the gasoline that you could buy at the airport. Is that what you mean? I have done that, and right now that's what's in the paramotor right now is jet fuel. But it's still mixed fuel. I still have it mixed. And I only do that every once in a while. Like, I don't typically what do you call it, do that every single time. I'll just go to, like, a regular gas station and make sure that it's, like, the highest octane that you can get, which is, like, I think around here the highest is 94 octane, I think. So actually, when I run jet fuel, so for most of you guys that don't know this, which is something I learned when I used to ride my quad all the time, or when I first got the hot rod, I learned this a while back, that when you run jet fuel in those motors, it actually runs your motor cooler, which you would think that that's a better thing to do. You're like, yeah, oh man, run the motor cooler, right? But really, if you run it cooler too much, you'll actually stress the motor out of, like, the inside components, like bearings, seals, and things like that. And also you can build up more of a oil residue on top of the piston doing things like that. So it's not really that good to run jet fuel through a motor that's not really designed for it, like an airplane, with those bigger high performance engines. So, but every once in a while though, like for me, I've realized that if I run, like, a type of jet fuel just a little bit, no more than like a gallon maybe through it, maybe 2 gallons, depending on how much I'm running the engine, um, it helps clean it out. And really, that to me is what I aim for when I run a jet fuel through this kind of stuff. It will if you keep doing it, Raj. So if I kept running that in this small air-cooled one-cylinder engine, yes, it would damage it in the long run if I kept doing it. So, but like I was just saying, every once in a great while, like, not once a month, I mean, like, once every few months, right? Because I fly a lot, right? Like, I try to fly, like, every day if I can, and it's really hard to do so, but like, it's just not really ideal to just run all the time, and plus it's very expensive. And to me, running regular gasoline through our one-cylinder air-cooled engines isn't bad at all, as long as there's never water or anything like that in the gas, which sometimes some of these gas stations will have water in the tank, and which is horrific. So, but that being said, I'm back here at my house. It was just misting, which sucks. So I think what I'm going to do is call it and not go and fly. As bad as I want to and go take the chance, it's not worth it. It's not worth doing that to the gear or to myself. So yeah, we're here at my garage, Raj. We're back. The garage is right here behind me. This is my Equinox that we're next to, that's another project, which I still need to really make a decision on that. And other than that, I really do appreciate all you guys for hanging out today. Raj, it was really nice getting to hang out with you and talk to you. It's been too long, man. So make sure you definitely hit me up. I'd love to talk more. And yeah, we'll see what happens. You know what, Raj? Yeah, I can show the workshop real quick, but then I'm going to end the live, and I have a couple things that I should go take care of. Let me grab my keys here. I always keep my shop keys right here. Shop keys are always in the truck. Let's get my coat on, because like I said, it's chilly, but it's not freezing. It's like I said, right now. Oh yeah, the truck's off. What was it? It's still 42 degrees, but enough to keep the coat on, right? So hold on, we'll go right in the shop. Hold on a second, Raj, and I'll show you what I got going on. I don't want to cover the mini mic here. Come on, mini mic. Put the mini mic up here on the collar of my coat here. All right. Will it actually get through? Oh yeah, nice. It'll hang out. Okay. All right, let's go. Ooh, man, that sucker really holds on to there. All right. All right. So you guys can see that it's a very overcast day, but it was just misting, and the truck's like soaking wet right now. You guys can see that like everything's wet. This looks like it's trying to dry out though, but gosh, I would really like to go and fly, but okay, hold on a second. Let me set this up, and then I'll turn on the light here. Hold on a second. I gotta turn on the light manually. Hold on a second. All right. Sorry about that. Sometimes I like to keep power disconnected to the shop just so I don't ever accidentally, God forbid, burn the shop down or anything. So, but yeah, so here we are. You've arrived. Oh, I have the new truck now. I have an F-150, the white one, which you didn't see it. You gotta check out the videos, Yuvraj. You haven't been watching my videos. So Yuvraj, this is the newest paramotor that we're flying. This is the Pulsar. You can see how the frame is so different, you know? Super awesome. Still just a pull start setup. Same engine, you know, that I have been flying. And then if you can see back here, Yuvraj, back there, that's the SkyMax Star frame that I was flying. Thanks, man. Yeah. Sorry, I don't even have my tripod and stuff in here right now to even set it on. And then this paramotor right here is for sale. We were going to give this one away, but then I had a customer who really wanted the red on red. And don't get it wrong, we're still going to be doing like giveaways and stuff like that for a raffle. So make sure you guys always still all stay tuned to that. There's just been some changes that have happened with SkyMax and myself that had to put us back. So, but not back in a bad way, just back for making sure customers are getting their paramotors. So, but yeah, so that being said, everybody, I'll probably try to come back on a live stream in a little bit out here in the shop if that's what you guys would want. Or I might try to go push it back at the airport. So make sure you guys all stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you won't see any of this stuff, right? So, or always be up to date on what I'm doing. Yes, I still have the hot rod too. Here's the hot rod. Right here's my hang test setup. That's where I do my hang test right here, so I can always know that my paramotors are always set right for my hang points. That is my Honda 400EX quad. Yes, I still have that. Super awesome. Definitely runs. I think I need a battery for it now, though, for sure. So, but yeah, that being said, everybody, and usually, Raj, you were asking about the truck I'm driving. I'll show you. Oh, my headlights are on. Good thing I came back out here. Yeah, I left my headlights on. I left my headlights on. Can't believe it wasn't even telling me. It normally does. But yeah, Yuvraj, I got the a newer truck. Not too bad. But yeah, so that being said, everybody, I will talk to you guys later. Please show your car as well. Oh yeah, but So Yuvraj, I definitely will later on. So make sure you guys all stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. And we'll definitely talk more about some stuff that I've been doing. So until then, I have some stuff I really do need to take care of right now. And I would like to maybe see if we can go back to the airport. We'll see. So just stay tuned and we'll see what happens. So, but until the next one, everybody, happy holidays and a happy new year. But I'll talk to you guys all on the next one. Peace out.